Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Neil and Kara out here in Arkansas having a good time playing with the Mantis, and we just got done shooting the live fire version of the benchmark. If you watched a few days ago, you probably saw Natalie and Chris shoot. Natalie outshoot us because she's the range monkey and she kicks our tail all the time. We're gonna do something a little bit different here with the benchmark live fire, so come along and watch. This should be fun.
Lucky Gunner is my recommended trusted provider of freedom seeds for range or defensive use. In stock, good prices, and rocket fast shipping are why I go back again and again. Because of new guidelines, I can't link their site or say it, but you're smart and you can find it with a simple Google search. Stick it to the man by paying them a visit today.
What we're going to do here is, we're calling this a time to benchmark, but what we're going to do is we're going to do a build drill. So we're going to use the open training session, right? And you can set a benchmark on that. So Kara's got this thing screen recording. She's going to show you what this looks like. And what is going to happen is we're going to set it up for 6 shots with a benchmark. The first time we do it, we're going to do a 5-second build drill.
5-second
part time. Gun in hand. We're going to take the draw out of it. And what we're going to do is then do one with a 2-second part time. And we're going to compare what the scores look like. And then we're going to kind of look at what the target looks like as well. And so we can put all that data and mash it all together and have some fun and see what happens.
Absolutely.
So I think this is kind of a cool thing. I've never done this. This is something that Chris came up with this as soon as we got done. And I'm like, wow, let's make a video.
Okay.
So you'll get to see Chris do it too.
So I'm going to go into open training, and here's where the cool thing is you can actually set parameters on your drill. So if I click the little cog wheel, it says drill, we're going to go ahead and do a 6-shot limit, so it's only going to capture 6 shots. It's going to stop at that point. And we're going to go down at the bottom instead of part time. So we're going to start with a 5-second part time.
Okay.
So if you go past it, it's still going to be recording, but it's also going to tell you basically failed.
It's going to DQ you.
You failed. So we have 6 shots for 5 seconds. So we're ready to rock.
Okay, cool. Well, I will shoot it first here. I'm going to use up the target that we had before, and then we'll go to the new target when Chris and Natalie get up there. Kara and I will get. We know what those shots look like.
Now we got to talk about. We're starting from what ready position?
We're going to start from a low ready.
Okay, so I'm going to put it in low ready. So you have to be angled 35 degrees downward. So it gives you a little time to set up as long as your gun's not pointed downward.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Perfect.
So I'm going to put you in low ready. Done. So if I hit start, now your gun's in the holster. Okay, so let's do this. Yeah.
We're gonna do this dry. I'm not gonna load the gun. So
okay.
It's gonna say.
So now don't be in low ready so you can get in position. So lift your gun up a little bit. There you go. See how the red line disappears?
Oh, so it tells me go to low ready.
Exactly.
When I get down here.
It's not gonna cue the drill until you are in that position. So at this point, you're gonna be in the buzzer delay.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang. Okay.
Right. So, and it's recording the time.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let me get my ears on. And it's 6 shots.
So again, don't be in low ready until you're ready for it to beep you.
Okay, so it's a little counterintuitive to what we do at the range because typically we have the gun pointed down, but if we're pointed down, when I'm going to pull this over here so I can see it just a little bit better, but it's telling me right now, get to the low ready position. As soon as I get that gun down to the low ready, I see the red and it comes and says stand by. If I bring the gun up too soon, like I'm jumping a beep or something, it's going to say, hey, knucklehead, get back to low ready. So I'm starting kind of counterintuitive with my gun out like this. This is a drill. We don't do this typically in the real world, but this is how this is going to work. So, all right, so I'm going to go to the low ready and I'm going to shoot 6 shots at the beep. Am I at a low ready?
Nope, 35 degrees.
Jeez, picky.
25, 76, 71, 81.
Was that 6?
Yep.
So then am I just going to hit the stop button?
Yep. So we'll hit stop. So there's your 6.
Not the average I was looking for, but.
For some reason, it wanted to repeat, even though I set it to no repeat. So 6 shots, you were right at 5.01. Yeah, That's pretty impressive.
So I got my timing right. So this new, I'm shooting this new gun, the VP9A1F, which I like the gun. It comes with that SCS with a green, and my eyes are not picking up the green. So I'm trying. probably going to put my SRO on this gun at some point, but yeah. So okay, so that was about the pace. You know, I was shooting about you know, my first shot was a 1.59 because I was having a hard time picking up the green. Then a 6.9, a 7.5. Those are my splits. Finished just past the 5-second mark with an average score of 67. I would like to do better, but all of those are in the A zone of the target, so I'm not really complaining about that. So understanding that when we're moving like that, this is what happens. Now, what the other thing that I think is going to be cool here is I can hit one of these and I can see. So here's one of the 76s. Here I can see, and I'm playing it for you guys, you can see how much movement my gun was going all over creation. And I'm like, I think I'll pull the trigger now.
And just so you see here, you see how the dots are kind of separated?
Yep.
That shows you were moving quicker than you were up here because you got dots. So again, 400 data points a second. And you can see them separated on the screen. You were yanking that gun pretty fast downward.
So I'm just trying to get back quick because I knew I had 5 seconds.
Exactly.
All right, so let's set it to a 2-second.
Okay.
And see what the difference is.
So we're going to so it stops after 1. And we're going to go down to 2 seconds. There you go. Okay.
So I got to get on it and see that green a little
So gun
faster.
out so that it doesn't pop on you.
I think I have 6 left in the gun.
There you go. You're set.
Okay, so.
A little lower. There you go.
Six, 83, 23, 4.
Okay. So, okay, so I'm hitting that. Did I only shoot 5 shots?
No, it shot 6. It didn't pick up one of them.
Okay.
So that is the downfall in live fire. You can't outrun it.
Okay.
You can't outrun it. And I think that's probably what happened.
I think my last splits were pretty fast because I started out with an 8.4, then a 5, then down into the 24s. At 2:07, you know, again, I'm not picking up that green dot, so it's taking me a little bit more time to get there. If I had my red dot, I think I could. A 2-second build drill is not that hard to run. However, what we do see is the score drops dramatically. However, at this distance, here, let me just grab the camera and show you what the target looks like. Here, I'll give you that. So these are my A zone hits right here. I got one that's on the line here, but everything's acceptable at the distance I'm shooting at. I'm shooting this at about 4 yards, so this isn't really that big of a deal. I got a whole lot of grace because of the distance there, but those hits are all acceptable. But what I've got is now a data point that says, hey, I could probably steady that gun up a whole lot and probably clean those up a bunch. So let's see Kara shoot it.
5 seconds.
Stand by.
89, 38, 15, 29, 62, 34.
All right. So then I'm hitting that up there. All right, so you came in at 4:10, so just under the 5 seconds with a 46.3. First shot being an 89, and then things went a little bit south score-wise. But what we see is great hits on the target with nothing to worry about whatsoever. They're probably better than my hits. So let's see here. How do I get out of this thing? So I hit.
Go back there.
I just hit back.
Go to open training. Go to the drill cog wheel. Go to part time. Drop it to 2.
All right. 2 seconds done.
And start.
This is a lot easier than I thought it would be. All right, so it tells you go to a low ready. And stand by.
27, 2.
Okay. Okay, so you outran it as well.
Did I?
Picked up
A
3
lot.
shots. So we're outrunning it when we get down to this low, these low speeds. So I know an engineer at Mantis that's going to take care of that for us. So, well, I know somebody that knows an engineer at Mantis that's going to take care of that for us. So score, of course, goes down a little bit more because we're moving so much faster. There's so much more going on. And so we can't expect these 90s at that space because the gun is still moving. We are working the recoil and kind of, I like the term ride the recoil. And we're doing some, shooting on the cadence because we are tracking and visually know what we're looking for. That is the beauty of dry fire. You learn how to read your sights. And it's really the beauty of a dot system, because the dot gives you so much more visual data than your irons do. And if you want to be an iron shooter, knock yourself out, I don't care. But what I do know is that we see so much more with the dots that we can correct that. We can learn how to read our sights a whole lot better, a whole lot faster. And if you're an old curmudgeon that must, drive a manual or ride a horse yet, knock yourself out. I don't care. I promise you, I don't care. You will not be at my gunfight. But when you come to my class, I'll outshoot you every single time, just simply because I see my sights a little bit differently. And if you're open to it, get a dot and learn that. Just do dry fire with it. It'll make you a better iron shooter to boot. That's one of the things that people don't really think about, is now that I learned how to read a dot, I can read my irons even better. So that's pretty cool. Natalie, you ready to shoot this? All right. When it tells you you're going to go to when I tell you you're just going to go to a low ready, which you're going to point about right there. And then I'll say stand by. When it tells you you're ready, you're going to hear a beep, and then that's your go signal. You got 5 seconds to get 6 shots. Understand?
Right. Yep.
All right, go ahead. Go to your low ready when you're ready. A little lower. Stand by.
Seven, 56, 57,
There you go.
32.
Okay, finger off the trigger. All right, so what we got here is you got a 46.4 right there in line with the rest of us. I've already forgot our numbers, but you're probably beating us again. You did
it's a little lower than yours, but yeah.
Yeah, you did it in a 4.82, so your time was in there. You hit the par time, you did everything you need to do. Now let's see what happens to your 46 when we drop you down. Let's see here, open training, par time.
Yeah, when you shoot in an indoor range a lot, really have to brighten up your dot when you go outdoors.
Now you kind of got to get after it, because you only got 2 seconds and 6 shots. So your little hitch that you had where you did 1, 2, 3,
I lost my dot.
4, 5, 6. Yeah, so let them go, okay? All right, here we go. Go to your low ready. Go lower right there. Stand by. There we go. Okay, so again, you outran it as well. Okay. And so we've got 4 shots that it picked up. So it looks like when we get down into the dot twos of our splits, that's when it's struggling to pick them up there. Your score went down to a 24, so it about halved. Now, one thing that's interesting, when you sped up, you threw one out of the A zone, so you got a Charlie on there. You had one a little bit low. Why do you think that went low, though?
I realized that I was going to stop trying to fight and find my dot, and I was just going to shoot my gun.
Yeah,
because, going from 5 seconds to 2 seconds, there's a little bit of a speed change.
So did you lose the dot, or did you overcorrect? Do you know?
A little bit of both, I think.
Okay,
so I just made sure that I was getting center mass and decided to just try to get my hits in the time. And was I in time?
Yeah, you were easily in time.
Perfect.
Yeah, so.
All right.
So let's talk about kind of the data that you're getting at speed, and you're seeing your scores go down.
Yep.
So you have the trigger press, and you actually have the timing of the gun returning to 0. So a slide, its motion under action takes about 1/10 of a second, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So it's likely that there's still movement going on, but how much is you and how much is the mechanical side of the gun?
Right.
That's an interesting thing to start trying to correlate from this. Like, what does it actually mean? What's the gun, and how do I mitigate that? And what's me, and how do I mitigate that?
Exactly.
So I find it interesting. I think we're still on, so we should.
Yep, I think you're good. Oh, yep, I'll give you that.
I have too many accessories on my gun to use this magazine.
All right, so let me get you back to the 5 seconds. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
It tells me when to go, right?
Yeah, it'll beep, so stand by.
Seven, 6, 10, 76.
That was only 5.
Counting, counting's the thing.
All right, so, what did I do there? All right, so you came in at a 31. You did that in 3 seconds, skipped one of the shots. So, of course, we expect the scores to go down a little bit as well. So, all right, let's get you to a 1 second par.
And we'll count to 6 this time.
Yeah. Oop, hold on, I can't see it. Or 2 seconds.
Usually it's you that miscounts.
I know, it's that. All right. And from low, ready, and go. Stand by.
Two, 58.
There you go. Picked up 4 shots again. We're all running it. So again, we got something to work on, right?
Yeah, we're probably sub 20 on these. So.
Yeah, that's really moving. So what we saw is, yeah, as soon as you really picked up the pace, that's when it starts, when they disappear from there. So I think if you're at like a .2 or better or more, it's probably picking those up.
Yeah,
so
there's a ton of data when you're going into like the shot breakdown.
here, come up here. Let's stand on camera.
But
So-
I bet you there's so much you can see about when those shots are happening.
Yeah.
And like, because when you're shooting like that dynamic quickly,
Yep.
does the data match what you think you saw?
Well, that's and that's a big thing, because I think so many people struggle to read their sights. And again, we just talked about this. That's what dry fire is all about, is reading our sights and seeing our sights. Is it really what we're seeing? Or, because I know a lot of people have, that tendency to kind of shut their vision off in the middle of recoil,
Right.
and they don't know what's going on. And some people, that's a condition that some folks have, so they can't see that. But now you can see that. And if you can see that, on the Mantis unit and the data that we've got, now all of a sudden maybe that gives your brain the peace of mind that, hey, I can watch these sites.
Can we put in like a petition to change the name to Truth Device?
Yeah, exactly. So, well, hey, thanks for watching, everybody. We're gonna continue on with this. We're gonna show you a bunch more stuff with the Mantis thing. Thank you to everybody that came out and shot so far, and we'll see you next time.